It's my great pleasure to welcome the 10th coach in the history of the San Jose Sharks, David Quinn. And first of all, Quinn, congratulations on the opportunity that you have coming out to the West Coast. Just your initial thoughts on what's about to happen.
Well, just really excited. Obviously, there's been a long tradition here of a high standard of excellence. And, you know, when Mike called me and asked me my interest in the job, it certainly was something I was very excited about. And, you know, to be able to come out here and, you know, at this time in particular where, you know, this organization has had so much success, and I think the last 3 years have been a little bit of byproduct of all the success they had for so long. But I think Mike's made some real good moves here in the first few weeks as general manager and has put us in a pretty good position to get back on track.
Well, you're an ideal person to have the qualifications to be where the Sharks are right now, working with a team that's on its way up again. You did that with the New York Rangers. You've done that in your coaching career. How do you assess the challenge that you have?
Similar to all the other challenges that I've been fortunate enough to take on, you know, there's some real good players here. Like I said, Mike has made some good additions here over the last few weeks. You know, at the trade deadline last year, the Sharks were only 4 points out of a playoff spot. So this certainly isn't a rebuild. It's a little bit of a retool in a lot of ways, and I'm just excited about getting going.
I remember the games that you were coaching the Rangers against the Sharks. There were always very intense contests, and I suspect that you have a lot of thoughts on having a captain like Logan Couture, a player like Timo Meier, somebody like Erik Karlsson on the roster.
Yeah, and that's what makes this situation so attractive, because with players like that and guys that, you know, with their makeup, that gives us a chance every single night. And, you know, it's certainly going to be a lot more fun coaching them than coaching against them, that's for sure. And, you know, when you've got that type of talent with those types of people, you give yourself a chance to win every night.
You're a native New Englander. You're from Rhode Island, and obviously coming to the West Coast is a life change, certainly. But what have your impressions of San Jose been over the years?
The one thing that jumps out at me is the passionate fan base that we have here in San Jose. I remember when I first took the Ranger job, you're talking to people in the league, people would actually mention to me, wait till you get to San Jose and experience that as an opposing coach. And really it was one of the most enthusiastic, passionate fan bases that we would face going on the road. And, you know, for us, you know, it's an exciting opportunity for all of us in this organization to play behind such a fan base.
You've had a very interesting life because you were a first-round draft pick of a hockey team in the National Hockey League and never got to the NHL because of a serious blood disorder that you had to deal with. You went to the U.S. Olympic team for a little bit, but obviously that had to be a challenge in your life that affects you to this day. First of all, tell us what is the effect to this day, and also how it's changed your perspective on life and coaching.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, obviously, being a hemophiliac, and the medical advancements that have happened over the last 30 plus years since I was diagnosed have allowed me to live a normal life. It's really the reason I got into coaching. When I was diagnosed with hemophilia as a 20-year-old, thinking I was going to play in the National Hockey League for a long time and have a career, trying to figure out what my next move was. I just thought it'd be an incredible opportunity to do for some players what my coaches have done for me, and it really was the reason I got into coaching, and I wouldn't change anything.
The Sharks organization is loaded with people from Boston University now. You got Mike Greer, general manager. You have John McCarthy, who's the head coach of the San Jose Barracuda. What about that influence on your life and Jack Parker and everything it's meant with the Terriers organization?
Yeah, Jack was such a big part of my life, not only as a player but as a coach. I was lucky to play for him and coach with him, and then I replaced him as the head coach at Boston University. And you know, to me, Jack just understood what winning was all about. On top of doing everything he could to make his players better, it was all about the team, and everybody bought into BU hockey. And to me, that was why we were able to have the sustained success we've had, and why you see so many BU guys go on and have successful careers in pro hockey.
Also, you understand what it means to be a coach in the American Hockey League, and John McCarthy has a big job, obviously, in the organization to develop some of the future prospects, have them ready for you with the San Jose Sharks. What kind of communication do you expect to have with him, as you may have had with Chris Knobloch over in Hartford?
A lot. I mean, John and I, we're fortunate we've got a pre-existing relationship. John played for me at BU, and we've certainly stayed in touch since he graduated. And you know, I think, you know, this organization could not have picked a better person to be the head coach in the American Hockey League. He's incredibly passionate, incredibly knowledgeable, cares about his players. And, you know, John and I talk frequently, regardless of our titles as hockey coaches, but I think it really will be a unique situation here in San Jose to have the relationship that John and I have as the head coach in the National Hockey League team and the American League team.
You helped develop a Norris Trophy winner in Adam Fox with the Rangers. You have some very good young players in the San Jose Sharks organization. What's the most important thing you try to impart to get the young players to where they need to be?
Well, all these guys are talented, and a lot of them can do things people can't do. And one of the things I think is important for players with that type of talent is they got to be good at doing the things everybody can do. And to me, it's a balancing act when you're coaching young players on what you allow and what you don't allow. And mistakes are going to happen, and you're going to have to let players play through some mistakes. But there are certain things that you just can't allow. And if your mistakes are effort-driven, then that's something that you can't tolerate as a coach. And certainly our young players and all our players will understand that.
What's a David Quinn-like hockey team? What's the ideal way that your team wants to play?
A fast, tenacious team that, has some structure but also allows their players to play with freedom. I think that's important. It's a fast game. You have to play with structure, but there also has to be freedom. And, you have to let your players play to a certain degree, and our players will find that balance between playing in structure and playing with freedom.
Well, we are really excited to have you in San Jose. Welcome to the organization, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.